What is going on, guys? Rocky Lee here with another video, and today we're going to be ranking the Akatsuki from weakest to strongest. And I know there's already 1,000 other videos out there with people doing the same thing on Naruto YouTube videos, but we're going to do it anyways. With Bo and Arrowvet here joining me today, talking about who is the strongest in the Akatsuki. But anyways, let's get right into it. So, Bo, Arrow, you guys want to tell us who's the strongest Akatsuki member right off the bat?
The strongest right off the bat? I'm going to say Obito, because I think Obito could solo the entirety of the Akatsuki without even breaking a sweat.
Really? Okay. That's a change up.
With zero difficulty at all.
I feel like he would I feel like he would struggle a bit with Itachi and Pain.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, come on, against Itachi?
Well, I mean, what are we talking about? Are we talking about how strong they were in the Akatsuki? Are we talking about their base forms? Are we talking about the strongest they've ever been? Like,
that's okay. Let's lay down some standards, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about how strong they were. You know when they gathered up in that room when they're all doing like that chakra transfer thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
However strong they were when they were in that room. That time, could they have killed each other? Basically, we'll go off that.
Okay, and for Orochimaru, do we go off the only scene we saw him in an Akatsuki robe? Because he wasn't in the room earlier.
For him, I guess we could judge him off like his fight against. I don't know if you've seen like he had like a small fight against Pain and Sasori.
I was gonna point out. Yeah, true that. Because I was gonna point out that when they were on that room, wasn't Orochimaru doing something else? What's it called?
Yeah, because like the only scene I really remember, other than I'm pretty sure there's a canon game scene where he tries to take Pain's Renegon and just gets.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But the only scene in the show I remember with Orochimaru and the Akatsuki is he tries to take Itachi's eyes, and then Itachi looks at him once. And
every time he tries to take an eye, he fails.
Yeah, he's not too good at it.
And then he's like, "Oh, I'll go after Sasuke." I was at that one too.
But I mean, like Orochimaru, his scaling is super weird because at one point he's like throwing hands with tailed beast cloak Naruto at the start of Shippuden.
Okay.
I was gonna point out.
No arms and no jutsu. Like,
that's true. He didn't even have. He was out there using his tongue and stuff. Like,
yeah, and he was just throwing hands with like the most powerful Jinchuriki in like. Of course, it wasn't like a good form of it, but still, like, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
He had 4 tails, and I'm pretty sure 3 tails version of that cloak like one-shot Jiraiya. So
didn't he shoot what's it called, the tailed beast bomb as well at him, or am I thinking of something else? So I remember like he made like a tailed beast bomb, then he just ate it.
Maybe, I don't know. I would have to rewatch the scene. I don't remember the specifics. But I would say undoubtedly the weakest members of the Akatsuki are Zetsu and Hidan. Does anyone have any challenges to that?
I do not. I think we can all agree Zetsu and Hidan are definitely the lower tier of the Akatsuki here.
I was thinking of just leaving Hidan bad because he has some combat experience.
Yeah, so the thing about Hidan,
that's true. He can actually fight versus Zetsu is just kind of, he gets right by anything.
Yeah, so the thing about Hidan is like he has immortality, which is really good, but all you really have to do is just decapitate him and you win. Yeah, like if Kakuzu wasn't with him when they fought Azuma, Shikamaru, and then
they wouldn't have stitched them up. He would have just been on the floor right there.
Like, he would have just died to a Jonin Azuma. Like that's how high he scales if Kakuzu wasn't there.
So like, that he was going against Shikamaru, and if it weren't for Shikamaru, they would have never realized that he was around. That he needed the circle. Apparently,
I guess if you understand his strategy and stuff, it's easy to take him down. Yeah. Otherwise, he does pose a threat to say maybe even someone like Madara or Itachi if he got like a surprise on him, you know, like somehow got their blood in the middle of battle.
Yeah, so like.
So we can put him at bad. We can put him at bad.
Yeah, all right,
I mean, we can move these guys around as we go, you know.
Although for Zetsu, the big thing is like he does nothing, but he technically killed Jubidara. So like I really don't know what to do with that. He killed Ten Tails Madara, but like he's also trash and could not beat any of the other members in a one-on-one.
Dude, they couldn't fight, so he booked it to Obito's body just to make sure that they won't hit him during the war. After he forced him to do the Ren and Rebirth.
I'd personally safely say that Zetsu can stay terrible because he couldn't fight any of these people one-on-one, and he technically took Madara by surprise. But
he's basically just a symbiote.
Yeah.
Or not even a symbiote. What's the other term for it?
Parasite.
There we are.
Okay.
Let's go next with.
Oh, we never ranked the Orochimaru. We were talking about him.
Oh yeah, we were talking about him.
I was thinking of putting him like in decent. You know,
decent.
He stands a chance against like Hidan, but that's pretty much it. No, I don't think it'll be anybody else. We haven't even put Toby anywhere yet.
Let's do.
Or you want to put him in bad as well?
I personally put him in. I'd put him between decent and good because like there's like multiple scenes and multiple fights where you can just see that he is like very good, and then there's multiple scenes and fights where he kind of looks like trash. Like his scaling is one of the worst in the entire series.
I mean, some people say he's around the same level as Jiraiya, and Jiraiya kind of went, toe to toe with Pain, but then we also see, like we said, we saw what's called Orochimaru get wrecked by Pain.
But
yeah,
one thing I was gonna point
it's
out,
really weird.
One thing I was gonna point out was the fact that Orochimaru like doesn't just attack without any reason. Like I realized that every now and then he'll attack and like just to analyze what he's doing instead of going all out to see what he could do against them. And one thing I was gonna point out is that it's weird because even if you do defeat him, he'll just open his mouth, a snake pops out, and then he pops out again out of the snake.
Okay, so we're gonna put. We'll leave him at decent for now.
Yeah, okay. Just let me say this first on why Orochimaru's scaling is so weird. So, like, we see Jiraiya almost die to a Three Tails Cloak Naruto, and then we see Orochimaru throw hands with a Four Tails Cloak Naruto while on the brink of death, and he's just chilling like he's having a time. But then we also see Orochimaru gets blitzed by one path of pain. Jiraiya, like, took out, like, 3 or 4 paths of pain with zero intel at all, with zero home turf advantage. So like their scaling is really weird. Like his scaling is not good at all. So it's really hard to rank Orochimaru. He's going to be like one of the most difficult ones to rank.
I think that I was gonna say about the Jiraiya and Naruto probably because he didn't want to hurt Naruto because that's like the student.
Yeah.
Or the reason why he took the hit.
The other thing you could say too is you could say that Jiraiya didn't fight Pain at full power because like Pain can't use Almighty Push or Planetary Devastation in his home village. Like they make it clear that he cares about the Rain Village. And
that's true. He wouldn't want to drop a whole meteor on him.
He can't just blow it all up, right?
Yeah.
It could be a bit disingenuous to say that like Jiraiya is able to take on Pain. He did like do a very good job against Pain for knowing absolutely nothing. But I don't think like if everything's equal, I think he's getting stomped by Pain.
Yeah, even Pain admitted too. If Jiraiya knew the secret, they would have lost.
Yeah, so we're okay. So Pain looks like we're dropping him in good for now, right?
I would.
No. Yeah, he has to be. I mean, he's the leader of the Akatsuki. How are we gonna just drop him in good? What am I saying?
Still put Obito over him, but I would put him in strongest.
All right, let's look over at some other characters. But Conan. Let's do Conan.
I feel like if you went against Kisame, she for sure would lose.
Oh yeah, she's getting slapped by Kisame. Kisame's
for
destroying
sure.
her.
Kisame's okay. Kisame, I want to say, is one of the strongest members of the Akatsuki. After I saw his fight against Killer Bee, I was like, and Killer Bee wrecked Sasuke, so I was like, hold on a second.
Apparently, according to the books, he didn't even go full power, apparently.
So, like, the thing about Kisame is the 3 strongest members of the Akatsuki, I'm sure we'll have, like, some argument about the order of them, but the 3 strongest members are Obito, Pain, and Itachi. Like, that's, like, it's made very clear. I would say
Yeah.
Kisame is the fourth, personally. I would say other than like the Haxed Eye Power people, he's the strongest.
Yeah.
Because
'Cause I
like he's
remember-
called the tailed beast, right?
For a reason.
Yeah.
And the one thing I was gonna point out too is the fact that a fight against Mike Guy in the beginning of that was only 30% of his chakra.
Yeah, he had a 30% chakra clone, and he
was
made
weakened,
Mike
yeah.
open the sixth gate with 30% of his power.
Yeah. And the one thing I was gonna point out too in the Mike Guy versus Kisame fight, he didn't really try fighting him, more like he was trying to get away. Which is the only reason why
Alright.
he got caught.
I think it's safe to say we could put Kisame up at the strongest category for now.
Okay.
And like I said, if we ever change our minds, we can move him around.
Yeah.
All right, let's just go in order. So let's do Conan next.
I think
I would put Conan down with Hidan in bad, but stronger than Hidan. I just don't think she's Orochimaru level, but I'm open to suggestions.
I'm fine with that. We'll drop it there.
yeah, if she went against Sasori could just put a puppet behind her and then she's dead.
Yeah, like she did really, really, really good against Obito, but,
But
she also
she-
had
Yeah, she had
literally all the
knowledge
prep
about
time
it.
you could ever have, and
She had prep
billions
time
of
and
paper.
knowledge.
Actually, wait, didn't she? I remember in one of the games, didn't she actually beat Sasori? Apparently, one of the
Yeah,
games
she
including
did,
the
but it's
Akatsuki?
not canon, so we can't count it.
Yeah,
Because if they went head to head in the show, I can guarantee you Sasori would win. Like we can go
Alright.
through that too if you want.
I think we all agree she could be in there. I mean,
Yeah,
she's definitely
alright.
stronger than Hidan, but not as strong as Orochimaru. So, Deidara. I'm gonna argue Deidara as good because he took out in the very first scenes of Shippuden, took out Gaara.
yeah, the Kazekage.
Yeah,
That's one thing I would. I would put him good.
I would say decent personally. I want to fight saying bad because he is really strong. Like his final move when he like killed himself against Sasuke is comparable to a blast from the Ten Tails. Like that's how big of an explosion it was. It's comparable to a Ten Tails bomb. But like I don't think he's stronger than Orochimaru still.
not stronger than Orochimaru. Yeah, I agree with that. He's not stronger than Orochimaru.
So we could put him here or like behind Orochimaru.
It almost makes me want to move Orochimaru up to good.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to have them be so low. So we'll do that. We'll move Orochimaru up to good, and then we'll put Deidara up at decent.
Okay.
Yeah,
He
this
doesn't put
looks a little more right. This looks a little more right.
Okay.
Okay, so now Kakazu.
I feel like he would beat Orochimaru. I feel like he would.
Really?
Because the fact that he has 5 hearts and then he could like separate himself with those like weird like things around him. Also for the fact that he was able to fight the first Hokage too and get away.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
The
He did
thing
say he
with
fought the
that-
first Hokage and lived to tell about it. Like,
But like we don't know in what way is the other part. Like we don't know if he like had a full on scrap with the first Hokage,
or if he kind of
and
just
the
like
Hokage
jumped them and
brought
then
him
just
to
ran
fucking-
away.
Yeah, we don't know if he
University.
just chucked a kunai and ran away, or if like the Hokage like brought out like the entire.
I mean,
Buddha statue.
I'm assuming he actually fought him because, I mean, he brags about fighting him. So
Yeah.
I would be fine with putting him either in good or decent.
I'm gonna say we're gonna drop him in good for now because I feel like he's definitely stronger than Deidara, but
All right, here's where my biggest unpopular opinion is gonna come in. I think Sasori is stronger than Kakazu, and
I can
think
agree with that.
Sasori
they
is
went-
stronger than Kakazu.
yeah, I think if they went one-on-one in a fight, I think Sasori would beat the dog shit out of him, and here's why. I think he has a better immortality because like they're pretty much the same thing except his is kind of just infinite. Like Kakazu has 5 different hearts, but Sasori has like this jar that it contains all his life force and can just move around at will. When you combine this with the fact that he has over 100 different puppets.
That he took down nations apparently.
Yeah, he took down,
Okay,
he
okay.
killed the strongest Kazekage of all time. without the tool that he needed to do it. Like his strongest tool, the strongest thing Sasori can use
He
before he
took
dies.
down the strongest Kazekage to make him the tool for
Yeah,
himself.
Like he didn't have the third Kazekage puppet when he killed the third Kazekage. That's how strong he is. Right?
That is a good point.
Poison? Can we talk about how strong his poison was?
Oh yeah, and his poison.
There
is
was no
hacks.
cure. There was no cure
It's
for that.
So good. It's like the only reason that Sakura got around it was because like the strongest medical ninja of all time trained her, right?
And it wasn't even like a full-on cure. It was like a temporary.
Yeah, it was, and they could only make like 3 vials. Yeah, his poison was deadly. Like anyone else other than Sakura and Chiho, and they would have
His
died.
arsenal was laced with that poison already. Everything in his arsenal.
I would
Okay.
put him behind Orochimaru and in front of Kakuzu, personally. but-
All right, so that's how we're doing the rankings, right? Like moving them left to right as we go on that as
Yeah.
well. Okay.
Also because he's known as Sasori of the Red Sand. Because that's his like his ninja war name. Because he would fight in the desert and just leave the sand stained with blood of his enemies each time he fought.
I didn't know that. It's actually cool. Also, before we move on, I just want to add something and get it out of the way. Most people should know this by now, but the fact that he died to Sakura, that's not really a blemish on him. Sakura rolled up to the fight with his grandma, like the person who knew literally everything about him, all of his weaknesses, everything. He also had like kind of a disadvantage in the fight for like mental wise. Like this happens a few other times.
Oh,
in
with the
show.
whole parent thing.
Yeah, like if you'll notice in like one of the first big fights between Orochimaru and Hiruzen, you'll notice Hiruzen definitely isn't fighting at full capacity because it's his old student, right? And he doesn't want.
Oh, even as he dies, he's closing his eyes and he sees not Orochimaru with like a doll form, but he's like just the innocent kid, like.
Yeah, right. And the same thing happened, I'm pretty sure, with Minato and Obito later on in the war. Like Minato was mad, hesitant.
Like he doesn't see a villain. He still just sees like his old student, like.
Yeah, and like I'm pretty sure Kakashi even makes reference to this when he meets Sasuke for the second time after Sasuke kills Danzo. He's like, I can't even imagine what the third Hokage must have went through having to fight his own student, right?
One thing I was gonna point out too was the fact that even Chio said that the attack that she did, the final attack, that Sasori read it, is just that he didn't want to dodge it.
Yeah,
He just,
yeah,
like,
he like
read it.
subconsciously let himself die to Chiyo's attack because that's what he wanted, right? Like,
Yeah.
and also Chiho is mad underrated. She's ridiculously strong. She brings 2 people back from the dead.
Yo,
in,
the
like,
10
an
white
hour.
puppets that she brings out are insane.
Yeah,
Yo.
she has the 10 strongest puppets in the world. Probably the most experienced of any puppet.
Messes up
master ever.
Sasori's like 100 puppets.
Yeah, and also like she brings people back from the dead, not through like Rene Rebirth, not through Edo Tensei, pure medical ninjutsu. Literally, that's all. Pure medical ninjutsu. She's able to revive people. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. Chio and Sakura, like that, like first off, he didn't even lose. Like he let them win. And even if so, people underestimate how hard that battle would be because not only are they stronger than everyone thinks, they're also hard counters to Sasori.
Yeah. Sasori was like, what was it? Wasn't mentally prepared to see his grandma. He wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, and like they led on to it.
Yeah.
And, like, he let himself be killed by the mother and father puppets. Like they imply it and outright state it after. Like
And
it's
the fact that he
pretty
can't
clear.
feel pain too. When Sakura socks him, he's like, you can do that all you want. It's not good. I don't feel pain. It's just a puppet body.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you guys were fine with it because he's
Yeah.
my favorite Akatsuki member, so I don't want to be biased.
No, for sure, for sure. All right, so let's move on though. We got Obito up next.
There's lots of problems with it. Like, it's not the character itself. Like, what people like, I don't know. Like, I'm going a bit off topic here, but like the fact that people like just call him a simp or he did the war for Rin. I don't think they understand him at all.
I mean, like that's a whole separate topic, basically. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like that, like going a bit off topic. But if we're talking about like in the Akatsuki, I feel like he was for sure one of the strongest.
yeah, we could safely put Obito at the very top. I mean, he was really just masterminding everything.
Yeah,
He was really
so,
just
like,
puppeteering pain.
he's clearly at the top, but we should discuss like what version of Obito because like technically when they're all in the meeting, Obito's not a part of the Akatsuki. Like I'm pretty sure. 'Cause He
He's-
doesn't join till Sasori dies, right?
Remember that he was.
Oh, that's
behind the
true.
scenes.
He's
But he's behind the scenes.
Yeah, he is behind the scenes. That is true, but I don't think he's officially a member until Sasori dies.
Yeah, but we're including everyone though, right? I mean,
Remember
So
the
are
part
we
where he?
thinking like One Eye Toby? Is that what we're like?
well, let's do
saying
one night Toby because we're not gonna consider it like him when he's got the Rinnegan and sort of the Jubi and all that. Because
Yeah,
Three
yeah.
Ninja
Well,
War
if we're
Toby.
talking about like Jubito, like he beats this entire.
no,
list
yeah,
in
that it wouldn't even be a
right?
contest at that point. Like,
Yeah.
I would still like he's what? I would say he's like around 20, around the time like we're talking about. When he was 14, he's able to put the Nine Tails under a Genjutsu with just a 3-tomo Sharingan, not even a Mangekyo, and he also goes toe to toe with the fourth Hokage.
right, and he wasn't even like
At
fully
14
an adult
years
yet at
old
that
with
point.
one eye.
I think
Yeah.
it's safe to put. I was gonna say Sasuke. It's safe to put Itachi. I think right before Obito.
Yeah, I could agree with this.
Now a lot of people
I
are gonna
think-
disagree. A lot of people are gonna disagree with this placement. I think.
I can see it. I can see the argument, but I personally lean more towards the side that Pain wins.
Oh,
Because-
Pain
so
over
obscure.
Itachi. Okay.
Yeah.
I could see why.
In forms shown, like if we were talking about like Edo Itachi or something, like I would put Itachi ahead of just regular Pain.
Oh, he was sick.
Well,
You're right. He was sick
He
the
was
entire
very
time.
sick. He was near blindness.
The
Pain
medication
solos an entire village.
by a
like-
lot.
You're right. Just raw power. Actually, you're right. Pain would just destroy him.
But yeah.
I mean, he's got
think-
like I said, a lot of people can argue because I mean, Itachi's gonna have strategy. You know, he's gonna have that strategy on his side. We've seen it many times, even against stronger opponents. Thanks again for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit that like and smash that subscribe. If you have a topic you'd like to see discussed on the channel, drop it in the comment section below. I do game reviews, movie reviews, streaming tutorials, and much more. Overall anime discussions.